Okay, in this part of the lesson, we're going to be working with triangular prisms. So we're still going to use that same formula for volume, and that is area of base times height. Okay, so it's just that now we're going to be working with triangular prisms. So what's very important and different and unique about this is you have to use a certain side. And when you are working triangular prisms, you must use the triangle, whether it's on the bottom or any side. The triangle shape has to be your base. So this red triangle right here is what we have to use for this part of our formula. So we have to remember that when we're doing triangles, our formula for area is base times height. Sorry, not base. Length times width, or lower base times height. And then divide that by 2, or we can do half of our length times our width, or base times height of the triangle. Okay, so the dimensions we have, here's our base, which is 5.5 times 2. And then we're going to divide that by 2 because it's a triangle. So in my head, this is what I'm doing. Instead, I'm taking half of one of my dimensions. I'm going to take half of 2, which is 1. And I'm going to take 5.5 times 1, which gives me 5.5 for that area of our base. Now, if you want to check it, you can take 5.5 times 2 and divide it by 2. It's not going to matter. Now, we're going to take that times our height. And our height, well, I know lots of times you guys want to think of the distance from the bottom to the top, but on this, our height has to be that dimension or how many triangles back it's going in this case. So our height here is actually our side length of 4. So we're going to take 5.5 times 4. And when we do that, we get 22. Our units was inches, so it is inches. Remember, volume is cubed. Okay, so yes, area base times height. The height isn't always the distance from the bottom to the top. In this case, it was the distance back. It's the distance between your two bases or your two triangle shapes. Okay, let's try this one. So once again, that triangle shape tells us we have to find the area of that. That is our base. Okay, so we're going to do 5 times 12. And divide it by 2, or in my head, I'm really taking half of this. That's what I prefer to do if it's a number that's easy to work with. I like to take half of one of my dimensions. I'm not great at doing decimals in my head, so I don't want to do half of 5. I'm going to do half of 12, which is actually 6. If I take 5 times 6, it gives me 30. Now, I get the same thing if I go through and do 5 times 12 and divide it by 2. Okay, 5 times 12 is 60, divided by 2, still gives me 30. So there's the area of my base. And we're going to take that times the height. So our other dimension is that distance between that triangle and this triangle, which is this 9 here. So we're going to go times 9. And I get 270. My dimensions are meters, and it is cubed. Okay, so once again, working volume of prisms, it's still using that same formula, area of base times the height. It's just that in this case, we're working triangles. So we have to remember to find the area of a triangle, it's base times height divided by 2, and then take it times the height of that prism.